Welcome everyone to a TortugaPower channel update for October, and in the background we're going to see some footage of IL-2, of me playing IL-2, which will explain the deaths and the dying and the being shot down and the difficulty taken off and everything. I'm not very good at IL-2, but I really enjoy the game. If you don't have a flight simulator, especially one that revolves around World War II, and you were interested in getting one, I can't do any better. I feel like you can't do any better than just starting off with IL-2. This is 1946. There's multiple versions of IL-2. Most recently, I think they have Battle of Stalingrad or something out, which has better graphics. It's the newer one. I think it has a better dynamic campaign, but this is still... it's just great for getting into the air and having some fun flying around. So, aside from the difficulty taken off, which I'll probably comment on, and a few other talking points here and there, I'm going to put the video aside, and I'm just going to be doing an audio recording, basically, while this video goes on in the background. So I'm not actually playing IL-2, this is video footage, which is something I'm able to do because now I'm getting deeper into better video editing software. Previously, I was only using YouTube's video editor, and it's really insufficient for any kind of professional level video editing. It was sufficient for my purposes, but this brings me to my first talking point. Well, my first talking point should just be an outline of what's going on. So I'm going to talk a little bit about video editing software, but mostly in regards to Patreon, just as an opportunity to thank my supporters there, which is something I probably don't do enough, considering I get like a serious, legitimate support from them, and that's what's enabling me to talk about the different video editing software. I also want to talk a lot about my Discord server. So basically, I made this Discord server a long time ago when Discord was just coming into vogue, and things that I've been really happy with the results. Which it doesn't sound like it should be too surprising, because you would expect that if I make a channel which has content which reflects my viewpoint, my interests, that a Discord server related to that will also surround my interests, but it's just worked out a lot better than I expected. I also want to talk about a little bit related to the Discord thing, because most of the multiplayer games are organized through Discord, but I also want to talk about the channel multiplayer games that I'd like to get going on a more regular basis because they are very enjoyable, but I also just want to announce that they exist for people who might not know about them. And then finally, my usual channel update. It wouldn't be a TortugaPower channel update if I didn't talk about upcoming content, content which is currently on the channel, and just doing kind of like a state of being, a reflection on what's going on with the channel at the current moment. So yeah, the first thing we'll be talking about in this video then is just a big thank you to my Patreon supporters. I'm currently looking into 4 different possible video editors. This video will be rendered through Vegas Movie Studio, but I'm also at liberty to try out Adobe's Premiere. I mean, there's 30-day trials for these things, which I'm utilizing, so that I can figure out where my money is best spent. But Adobe's Premiere is actually pretty expensive. It's a $20 subscription per month. Vegas Movie Studio, if you want the most basic package, which is what the trial version allows you to try out, it's really bad. I was comparing with Lightning, who has Movie Studio Premiere, or no, Platinum. And just a lot of options seem to have been, honestly, just literally taken out of the normal version, which we can call Premiere, or sorry, Platinum. And the base thing just has, like, let me give you an example. The timeline, which you see at the bottom of the YouTube video, or, you know, every movie clip, audio clip, you always think, okay, what's the timeline? In the basic Vegas Movie Studio package, they actually they make it impossible for you to see the actual timeline of your movie. They only allow you to see the frames. You have to edit based on number of frames. Now, we're at 30 frames per second, so it's not that difficult. I can just divide everything by 30, or at least kind of do a little bit of quick mental math to figure out where in the movie I more or less am. But it's just insane, and it's really irksome that the basic version, which you would still buy for like $40, does not come with the timestamp for the video. It's like obvious that this is something built into every video editing software since basically the dawn of time, since the dawn of movie editors. And they obviously had to specifically remove it from their normal version just to give you one other perk for Platinum. And I really dislike that kind of thing, which makes me honestly immediately not want to use Vegas Movie Studio at all. But I wasn't even considering these options which you have to pay for before I was able to factor in, the Patreon support. And I have more supporters to the channel, honestly. A lot of people help out in various other ways, besides just, Patreon. But this one, the most related to movie editing software is just the fact that I can buy these things. Because Adobe's Premiere with the $20 subscription fee, my Patreon is actually able to cover that. So that would mean I wouldn't be using the Patreon for anything else, but that's still fine because the most important thing is that the Patreon money is used for the channel. That's something I always earmarked the money for, was for the channel. So that's enough about the video editing stuff. Otherwise, the other thing I should mention, just to share my findings if people are interested, I'm also looking into DaVinci's Resolve, which is a free-to-use video editing software, and I'm about to get shot down. Yeah, I don't think we saw, but off camera I'd already lost my aileron controls, which means I wasn't able to roll, and we can see that I'm trying to bail out, but I'm doing so about 10 feet above the ground. Oh gosh, and I'm dead. Okay, anyways, I was just talking about DaVinci Resolve, and we have there's other programs. I'll report back my findings if I figure out anything else about video editing software, because there's another open source one that I'm looking into. So bottom line though, thank you to my Patreon supporters. Discord, let's get on to Discord. I'm extremely happy with the way things worked out with Discord. Like, I set up this Discord server when it kind of became in vogue. That was, I don't know, probably 6 months ago? Has it been that long? Maybe around that time. And I guess it makes sense that the people who are going to be attracted to the Discord server will also be the people who are interested in the same stuff as you, because I express my interest through my channel already. However, I know that Discord also has slightly more of a youthful following, which can be a bad thing because, it's right in the word itself, maturity. If you're younger, you're usually more immature, and that's not something I had planned, or had hoped at least, to see on my Discord server and not on my channel. And I've been just so fortunate that we've avoided this kind of stereotype of the internet where people are very immature and people whatever. And this, by the way, the mission for the IL-2 that we're watching here was in order to destroy this train. Oh, there it goes. That's really beautiful. It's really cool to watch that. I'm not flying anymore now, because I was shot down, so we're just watching the flight lead. We'll keep watching him while they make some strafing runs on the train. So I'm going to just point out here some of the discussions we've had on the Discord, just give you an idea of the things we've talked about. Have had several discussions about historical naval ship design. A lot of times this is related to the Rule of the Waves series, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just maybe inspired by World of Warships or who knows what, but we go into discussing the different designs. We talked one time about interesting turret configurations that were used. We talked about French ship designs leading up to World War II. Lots of different things. We've also had a lengthy discussion. This was a really interesting one for me, and I have to say, I don't facilitate these. In particular, this conversation, the one about how realistic or strategically sound the enormous, like, world destroyer-sized spaceships. So we're now talking about like the space sci-fi theme, and I stumbled upon this conversation, which was already going on a Discord channel in my server, and I was so happy because it's like such an interesting topic. I'm glad we were talking about it, but just to give you a good example, it'd be like if instead of in Star Wars the Empire building the Death Star, what if they instead had just built like 10 Super Star Destroyers or like 30 Imperial class Star Destroyers? I'm not even really familiar with the Star Wars universe, it's not my favorite, but that idea, which you could easily ask the same question in other game universes, like what is the advantage of these like ultra big ships? Is there any advantage, or do you get more out of your resources just by building like still large ships but slightly smaller ships that obviously you have more mobility if you have more ships because you can just spread them around to more places at the same time. Also, usually smaller ships are more maneuverable just as it is anyway. So those were some interesting ideas that we had. I mean, we had some people for and we had some people against. It was really interesting. We've had some discussions of quantum mechanics and philosophy, I know with Kant. Other aspects of World War II, we were talking a lot about Eastern Front. And this is another big thing for me, that we've been able to talk about book references. I have a channel on the Discord server for references, and it says on there it's like for recommendations for games for me to play. But it was definitely fully designed as a medium for people to share their book references as well. And I have solicited some good feedback from some people who are obviously more knowledgeable than myself about various Eastern Front books. Because I do have this idea to do in the future a Hearts of Iron 3 Eastern Front playthrough as the Soviet Union. We can see our lead member here is not going to make it. It's going down. Okay, so that's Discord. There's some other stuff. We talked about probability. Oh, another one was, two more I have here on my list, was making a list of your top 5 games of the decade so far. I like those kind of things every now and then just to give everyone a taste for the different games other people in the server enjoy. Because we're not so different, so there's like a good chance that there's an overlap in interest. If somebody says, this is one of my top 5 games and you've never heard of it, it's worth your time to actually check out, right? That's what my motivation for doing that was, and I was pretty happy with the results. Then last thing, okay, yeah. Tortuga fan meetup in 2017. Kind of a joke, but 2 of our members in Australia actually met up and then posted a hilarious, fun little picture that said, Tortuga fan meetup 2017. So that was 2017. Maybe Tortuga, maybe I actually can join. Whoops, our video's faded out here. Maybe I can actually join for 2018. Now, as we jump outside the Stuka, we're going to realize what we're flying, which it is a Stuka in this next clip. This is my favorite mission in IL-2 1946. where a bunch of Ju-87s are just trying to take out a Russian battleship. So that's what this new mission is, and there's quite a few of them. We're going to see from the gunner's position. Lots of different Stukas, and there's a few fighters in there, but most of these are just going to be... We're just going to go in a huge wave and all crash like waves against the sand against this battleship. Even if we sink it, my likelihood of surviving is never good in any of these missions, but this is going to be a fun one to watch. Now, I was talking about the meetup, which was funny, but also related to that, we are doing the channel multiplayer games. So if you don't want to meet up in person, a lot of the games are hosted through the Discord server, which is why it's related to the Discord. But I'm trying to get this Friday night game session going. We don't do it every single Friday, but we were on a pretty good routine, I think, for 3 or 4 weeks of doing a game every Friday night. And by Friday night, I mean like United States time. In particular, I would say West Coast time, because for Eastern time, it does get a bit late. We probably start these games at like 12 a.m., midnight, or even a little bit after for East Coast time, which is only like 9 or 10 West Coast time, which is where I am. So that's why we start them so late. But this is kind of like what we were doing a while ago. I was trying to do a Saturday morning stream, and then followed by some kind of playing session. It's very similar to that. The games we've played lately have been OpenTTD, Stellaris, and AI War, Fleet Command. Those 3 games. But I also do have an interest in trying to do some kind of more wargame-oriented thing. I would even be happy if we were to play IL-2 1946. I've been kind of joking with people that we should play this, but there hasn't been a huge interest in it quite yet. So, but it could be any of those things. A lot of Stellaris games we've done, and OpenTTD is really fun to just kind of go on to the same map, not even really compete. Just to kind of be in the same game at the same time with people and chatting is it's pretty fun. So if you're looking for those kind of multiplayer games, we, like I said, generally play Friday night, Saturday, but you can find those games being coordinated on the Discord as well. There's a Players Wanted channel, which is specifically for that. Okay. The last thing of this lengthy video is, as we approach the battleship, upcoming content. So we are finishing, or have already finished, a lot of the series that have been going on the channel right now. Everything has come to a close, I guess, except for Factorio. Now, Star Sector is actually might be still lingering on. Even Afghanistan 11, I'm not sure exactly when this video will be posted, if Afghanistan 11 will have one more video left in it. But things are going to be coming to a close for a lot of these series, except for Factorio, like I said, because that's a pretty long, ongoing tutorial. But there's a lot of new content coming up. Aurora 4X is just way outside its appropriate timeline to be brought back onto the channel. I have recorded parts of the first episode. It's a pretty lengthy project because I'm trying to, one, do a summary of everything we've done in the first 21 episodes. And it is a series reboot. So I have to try to make it both new and old at the same time. It's a fun little challenge, but it is taking a little bit longer than I expected. Not just a little longer, but significantly longer. That said, it will be up soon. TM, right? The normal soon in air quotes. Now, Rule the Waves should be starting about the time this video goes live as well. I was trying to push for it for this weekend, which would be the weekend of the 7th and 8th, I guess. I'm not sure if it's possible because I actually have a lot of recordings to do this weekend. We have, first of all, the Dominions 4 roundtable discussion this weekend. I also have a podcast I'm trying to record about Grav Team Tactics. A lot of different things going on. Oh, by the way, we're rolling over into the dive now. This is really exciting. I actually had some problems with my air brake. You can see my air brake is extended, but in a moment I'm going to like pull up, or no, pull down, I forget. And we're going to see in the right-hand side again that I will extend my air brake again. Okay, so that's the battleship to our right. And there it is, air brake is extended again. It kept unextending. And I think that might be if you go over 90 degrees or if you aren't close enough to 90 degrees, I'm not sure. I decided I was going to aim at these, but then this random gust of wind or something pulled my nose up. So I basically just dropped my bomb, and I had no real desire, thought of actually hitting. Then I turned around to see if my bomb hit, but really what happened is I turned around to see my wing get shut off. And this is a great mission, though. If you haven't really been following in the background, and we're in trouble now, we're being shot at by some Russian airplane defense, and that's going to be the end of this next Tortuga pilot, who once again is going to bail out a little bit too late. So what we'll do is switch to yet another bit of footage here. Okay, so now I'm going to be in this 109. We're going to take off, go do a mission. I actually show some of the mission descriptions here, but it's not really important. I hope I don't even get to the end of this video because it's embarrassing how I choose to die in this one. But anyways, we'll just have that on in the background, and I will talk about content, yes. So Rule the Waves will be going live very soon, and Aurora 4X. And I did get, Field of Glory 2, we did a stream of that, and I wanted to do at least maybe like a preview or gameplay overview when it goes live, which is I think in a week or so. But I want to make a remark here about content pacing. I think I want to slow down, or at least I always have in my mind to slow down the frequency of uploads. I don't think it'll happen because there's just so much stuff I want to cover, but that always flies in the face of actual time I can commit. So I've been trying to spend up to 2 hours per night lately recording or editing videos, but it's not really sustainable. Even just doing Star Sector Factorio, and Afghanistan 11. So that's, especially because I've been doing Aurora 4X in the background between all that. So once I'm down to just Aurora 4X and Rule the Waves, I think those will become my main content for the next couple of weeks. And I'll try not to do any other series until maybe the Aurora 4X one really gets off the ground, or if the Rule the Waves one, you can enter into kind of like a comfortable place. People who have made content before will know. You can get into like a really comfortable place where content becomes easier to make, where it becomes like very easy to record. The first video you have to make thumbnails for and all these things, so it's not usually for the start of a series. Yeah, I've just had a weird balance with things on the channel. Like maybe 6 months ago I wasn't doing, or now 6 months ago I was busy, but like a year ago I was at a very comfortable phase in the channel, and I think I've kind of been doing too much. Considering this channel is not my source of income, it's not my livelihood, and I have other things like family considerations, this channel still, ultimately, at the end of the day, has to be one of the lowest priority things. In the same way that I would hope that the watching my videos is a very low priority for all my viewers. So it's kind of a funny thing to say, to be stressing the unimportance of YouTube on a YouTube channel, but I really feel like there's some merit in doing that. So I don't know what other kind of surprise... Whoa! Almost lost that takeoff there. The torque, they do model the torque for the engines and all that, and it's not, I don't deal with it very well. I don't know, I have kind of a cheap joystick, that's what I'm going to blame it on that. But anyways, thanks for sticking through this entire channel update video. I hope it was entertaining. For me, when I was just watching these videos to comment on them, or to see the videos in the background that will be played with this video, I honestly enjoy watching IL-2 a great deal. Like, I enjoyed watching the IL-2 footage. Sometimes I did a few cuts in this. I'm not sure if it was obvious or not. I'm getting used to this new video editing software, being able to take cuts, which is something I always abhorred and tried to avoid at every opportunity previously. But you know, that's one good thing, is that if I have, for example, some random baby crying in the background, I don't know how that would happen, but if it happens on the videos, I might be able to try to edit those things out now. And there's a lot of video editing software beyond just what YouTube offered. It's going to have a lot of benefits. Now, I really got to get out of this game quickly before you see what a terrible demise happens with us here. But anyways, I guess that's going to wrap this video up. I talked about everything. Just to recap, these are the bullet points on my outline. Thank you again to the Patreon supporters, but really I want to extend that appreciation to all supporters, people who have donated games to me. I mean, I'm sincerely appreciative of those things. So thanks to anybody who has at all been supportive of the channel in any way, shape, or form. Also, I wanted to talk about Discord, so I hope that this serves as an invitation for people who haven't checked it out. I don't want to promise that there won't be any immaturity. I do have like 2 off-topic channels that what I suppose are some of our younger viewers are interested in. One of them, anime, which is something I'm not at all interested in, has made its way on there. And it's something I'm keeping a close eye on too, because I know that there's plenty of forums for discussion of such things, and I want to keep my channel server pretty close to channel content. Which is why most of the other things are very related. They're World War II related, or Aurora 4X, and I mean Factorio stuff even. So I have those currently in their own category off, and I have them closed and muted, but I may at some point just once again delete them if the popularity diminishes, because they're not really what I want out of my channel, which is usually more mature discussions of things. I don't find like the memes channels and stuff like that, which I've seen on a lot of other Discords where people just post random pictures. I really got to get out of this video soon. So anyways, I'm trying to avoid that, but hopefully you'll just stop in and check it out, and hopefully it'll be interesting for you. That said, thanks so much for watching this channel update. If you have any comments about things you'd like to see, or any other comments, leave them below. And until the next video, thanks for watching, and take care.